Hey guys, I'm Ebony Darkness Dementia Ravenway, and you're reading fanfiction. That's right, I'm talking about My Immortal, the so bad it's iconic Harry Potter fanfiction written in 2006 by an angsty preteen girl named Tara. If you aren't familiar with My Immortal, it's about a 17-year-old goth girl named Ebony Darkness Dementia Ravenway who goes to school at Hogwarts and just isn't like other girls. She's gorgeous, everyone's in love with her, and yes, she is a Mary Sue self-insert of the author Tara, who is probably 12 at the time of writing this. Plenty of people have come forward claiming to be the original author of My Immortal, but all of their claims have been disproven. We have no idea who the real Tara Gillespie is, but I'm assuming that she's in her 30s now, working a normal 9-to-5 job and hoping that no one ever finds out she wrote My Immortal. Most people who are familiar with My Immortal know it because of the iconic intro paragraph introducing Ebony. So I'm just gonna read that right now so we're all on the same page about what we're dealing with. My name is Ebony Darkness Dementia Ravenway, and I have long ebony black hair, that's how I got my name, with purple streaks and red tips that reaches my mid-back, and icy blue eyes like limpid tears, and a lot of people tell me I look like Amy Lee. If you don't know who she is, get the hell out of here. I'm not related to Gerard Way, but I wish I was because he's a major fucking hottie. I'm a vampire, but my teeth are straight and white. I have pale white skin. I'm also a witch, and I go to a magic school called Hogwarts in England, where I'm in my 7th year. I'm 17. I'm a goth, in case you couldn't tell. I wear mostly black. I love Hot Topic, and I buy all my clothes from there. For example, today I was wearing a black corset with matching lace around it and a black leather miniskirt, pink fishnets, and black combat boots. I was wearing black lipstick, white foundation, black eyeliner, and red eyeshadow. I was walking outside Hogwarts. It was snowing and raining, so there was no sun, which I was very happy about. A lot of preps stared at me. I put my middle finger up at them. What I absolutely hate about this intro paragraph is how much of myself I see in Ebony Darkness Dementia Ravenway. Because yeah, when I was 17, I also bought all my clothes from Hot Topic. Yes, my favorite band was and still is My Chemical Romance. This was my prom dress. And honestly, Ebony wishes. Like, she wishes she was turning up to the Yule Ball in this. She wishes she was me. And like, what's even more embarrassing is how much I relate to Tara as an author. Because yeah, when I was 12, I did have an original character who was a cool goth girl with purple streaks in her hair who shopped at Hot Topic. Luckily for me though, I never put any of that material onto the internet, so I could have just not admitted it right now and no one would have ever known. So let's get into the actual story because that's what we're really here for. My Immortal starts out with Ebony getting asked out on a date by Draco Malfoy, and this isn't regular Draco Malfoy. This is like goth Draco Malfoy who wears black eyeliner and red contacts for some reason and loves Good Charlotte. Yeah, he invites Ebony to a Good Charlotte concert that's taking place in Hogsmeade. So obviously she has to go. That's her crush and one of her all-time favorite bands. In Hogsmeade, no less. So next we go to Ebony getting ready for her date with Draco, and immediately the comedy comes to a very jarring halt because Tara brings up the concept of self-harm a lot in this story. So if you don't want to hear anything about self-harm, go ahead and skip to this timestamp. This is the only point in the video where I'm going to talk about it. But yes, self-harm comes up a disturbing amount of the time in this story, and it's always just like thrown in so casually and so randomly in different places. And every time you see it come up, it's just like a punch in the gut because you're sitting here laughing at how horrible this story is. And then suddenly there's that. And you're just like, whoa. But Tara very clearly, she writes about self-harm in this story like it's a quirky hobby that goth people have, which, yikes. That's a big yikes right there. Fortunately, I strongly believe that she doesn't understand it. It's just a concept she's familiar with and thinks is cool for some reason. But even if she does mention it in the author's notes as well, I'm very confident that this is something Tara was not actually dealing with at the time, because she does write about it in a way that shows she has no idea what she's talking about. So, Ebony and Draco meet up for their date. They get into Draco's flying black Mercedes-Benz, and not only do they smoke cigarettes, but they also smoke drugs. So you know that it's a party. The Good Charlotte concert is so cool, and Ebony and Draco are like in the mosh pit. And this detail is hilarious to me because is Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous a song that you mosh to? Like, I don't know. Like, first of all, I wouldn't call Good Charlotte goth music by any means. But I don't know. Leave a comment below if you've ever moshed to a Good Charlotte song. So after the concert's over, instead of going back to Hogwarts, Draco takes Ebony to the Forbidden Forest, which arguably is the sexiest place in Hogwarts. And we gotta talk about this scene. I gotta directly read this word for word because it is so funny. She says, "Draco kissed me passionately. Draco climbed on top of me and we started to make out keenly against a tree. He took off my top and I took off his clothes. I even took off my bra. Then he put his thingy in my you-know-what and we did it for the first time." So yeah, like a 12-year-old wrote this. And then, "What the hell are you doing, you motherfuckers?" It was Dumbledore. Dumbledore is my absolute favorite character in this fan fiction. I have no notes on the way he's written. It is chef's kiss perfect. But yeah, Dumbledore is very upset at seeing two teenagers having sex in the Forbidden Forest. So he takes them back to Hogwarts and they're in big trouble. Dumbledore calls them ludicrous fools. Professor McGonagall calls them mediocre dunces. It's great. The whole scene is great. Ebony's really upset about getting in trouble, but it's okay because Draco sings "I Just Want to Live" by Good Charlotte and she feels better. So the next day, it's a new day in the workroom, and Ebony is in the Great Hall eating Count Chocula cereal with blood instead of milk when a stranger bumps into her, accidentally spilling blood all over her top. And that's when we meet another truly iconic character in this story. "Bastard!" I shouted angrily. I regretted saying it when I looked up because I was looking into the pale white face of a gothic boy with spiky black hair with red streaks in it. He was wearing so much eyeliner that it was going down his face, and he was wearing black lipstick. He didn't have glasses anymore, and now he was wearing red contact lenses just like Draco's, and there was no scar on his forehead anymore. He had a manly stubble on his chin. He had a sexy English accent. He looked exactly like Joel Madden. "I'm so sorry," he said in a shy voice. "That's all right. What's your name?" I questioned. "My name's Harry Potter, although most people call me Vampire these days," he grumbled. "Why?" I exclaimed. "Because I love the taste of human blood," he giggled. "Well, I am a vampire," I confessed. "Really?" he whimpered. "Yeah," I roared. Also, big shout out to the creators of the My Immortal wiki page. I literally would not have a video without them because not only did they provide the entirety of My Immortal, but they have these photoshopped images of the characters that they put together that are so funny. Obviously, there's some sexual tension between Ebony and Vampire, but like Draco's her man. So she does meet back up with Draco, and once again, he puts his boy's thingy in her, and they have sex. But this time, Ebony notices a tattoo that she had never seen on Draco before. And that tattoo is a black heart with an arrow through it. On it, in bloody Gothic writing, were the words, vampire. That's right. Draco's ex is none other than Vampire Potter, and he still has a tribute tattoo to the one that got away. Ebony freaks out when she sees this tattoo, and she responds to this realization with some absolutely wild homophobia, like unhinged. And then she runs out and Draco chases after her, still completely naked. They have this confrontation with Draco still naked in Professor Snape's class, and that's where we're introduced to another great character, Ebony's friend, Bloody Mary Smith, the new identity of Hermione Granger. That's right, she's goth now. She changed her name, and like all the other characters, she wears red contact lenses. So after fighting with a naked Draco in front of Snape's potions class, Ebony runs out crying, and she goes to the place where she lost her virility. And that's the Forbidden Forest. So while Ebony's crying in the Forbidden Forest, Voldemort appears and he tells her, "Thou must kill Vampire Potter." And then he gives her a gun, which is hilarious because why would she need a gun? She has a magic wand. So good, such a great detail. And then he says, "You must kill him or I'll kill Draco." Ebony's really torn here. She's really in a tough spot because even though she's still mad at Draco and Vampire, she's attracted to both of them. Draco is still her boyfriend and Vampire's hot. So she really doesn't want to kill him, but she definitely doesn't want Draco to die. So real Sophie's choice on this one. After Voldemort says all that shit to her, she literally just walks back to Hogwarts and is like, "Hey, Draco, sorry I got mad because I thought you cheated on me." And he's like, "That's okay." And then they make out. So stuff just happens and we move on. It doesn't have to make sense. The next day, Ebony is practicing with her gothic metal band called Bloody Gothic Rose 666, and everybody's there, including Ron, who is now called Diablo. Why? We don't know. Why are any of these names changed to these things? We got Vampire, we got Bloody Mary, we got Diablo. Ebony sings a cover of Helena by My Chemical Romance, and then she just bursts into tears. And everyone's like, "Ebony, are you okay?" And she's like, "What the fuck do you think, guys?" And she basically explains that Voldemort has given her this ultimatum where she has to kill Harry or he's gonna kill Draco. So Draco, who's apparently been listening in this entire time, jumps out from behind a wall and is like, "Why didn't you fucking tell me?" And he totally freaks out. Everybody's freaking out now. Then Draco runs out of the room crying, and the band is just kind of like, and they go back to practicing for another hour. And speaking of time passing, it is nighttime now. I had so many technical difficulties filming this video that it took forever, and I ended up just having to go to work and come back. So here we are at nighttime, and technically you could say nighttime is the most gothic of times. I mean, I think we would all agree that. So this is actually better for the video. You like it. So after Draco runs away crying and everyone just goes back to band practice and no one checks on him, Dumbledore comes in to reveal that Draco is no longer alive right now. So naturally, Ebony's very upset about this, and she runs to her room and angrily takes a bath while listening to Linkin Park at full volume. After Ebony gets out of the bath, she very sadly puts on a low-cut black dress with lace all over it, and then she looks out her window and sees that, I don't know how to describe this, I really don't. She sees Snap, aka Professor Snape, spying on her and taking a video of her. And Lupin is also there and is masticating to it. So my first thought, I guess, is why did you put that in the story? But then if we start on that line of thinking, it's just endless. It's like, why did any of this get posted online? Why did any of this happen? So after Ebony catches Snap and Lupin spying on her, she gets out the gun that Voldemort gave her, and she shoots them with it multiple times. Actually, to quote exactly, she shoots them a gazillion times. But don't worry, they don't die, because nothing matters that happens in this story. While all that's going on, Vampire and Dumbledore both barge in to the room, and they both have something to tell her. Dumbledore and Vampire barge in, and nobody cares. That's not a problem. But then Hagrid comes barging into the room, and he's like, guys, we need to talk. And everyone's like, the fuck? Get out of here, Hagrid. They literally say, what do you know, Hagrid? You're just a little Hogwarts student, which I guess he is in this, but like so is Vampire, so is Ebony. Why are we ragging on Hagrid for being a Hogwarts student in this fan fiction? And he goes, I may be a Hogwarts student, but I'm also a Satanist. And he says it so dramatically, like once he says that, then everyone's gonna be like, oh wait, shit, you're a Satanist? Damn, I'm sorry. I did not mean to disrespect you. No, go ahead, sorry. So then after Hagrid reveals that he's a Satanist very dramatically, he then stops to like sing a gothic version of a 50 Cent song, which, what would that even sound like? And then after he just like takes a break to do that, he reveals that not only is he a goth Satanist, but he's also in love with Ebony, just like every male character in this entire fan fiction. So that's where I'm gonna leave it for now. As much as I would like to continue summarizing the plot of My Immortal, I have to go to bed. So if you liked this video and you want to hear me continue my journey summarizing the plot of My Immortal, then leave a comment, give this video a like, subscribe, and let me know if you're a My Immortal fan and want to hear more. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and stay gothic. Oh, she's pissed that I'm still working on this. And honestly, me too. I'm also pissed that I'm still working on this.